just need to apologize for the length of the video, and mostly it's just me talking because a lot of this, you can't really see much. You can see the shift flares, and then you can see some like debris in the bottom of the pan. That's later, but this is just, I promised a bunch of you guys that were having problems that I'd do a video if I ever had these problems, and to try and help diagnose. So this is what I've found is just my journey, and just, you know, we'll have some closure at the end here too, but good luck. So I know there was a couple of you guys, we were talking about the false neutrals and weird shit that would happen to you with your 6R140s. I think I have that, or an example of that, so I figured I would just document that to make sure I do have it, and then start going through some process of elimination stuff. Like the first thing I was going to try was a cam reset, keep live memory reset. So, but let me first try and simulate this. Hopefully I can do this for you up here. But yeah, it's also, I know a lot of you guys were saying like it's like a 3/4 throttle, you know, type situation. So, and that's pretty much what it is for me too. When I go regular, mine's between 3rd and 4th. So 3 to 4 shift, if it's like under a very light load, it doesn't do anything. But then if it's if I'm under, you know, a bit of load, then it definitely happens for sure. I'm just gonna pretend to like pull into here. Okay, let's see if we can. So yeah, it kind of did it. There, and yeah, I'll show you what it looks like if it doesn't do it, hopefully up here soon. So here we go, trying again. And this is going to be under like no throttle. Yeah, see, okay. So 3 to 4 under very light load, it's a good shift. I'm going to try and do one more under a heavy load, and this will be uphill too here, so that'll be a good test too. It's just, I don't know if we're allowed to slow down randomly or not. I think it's a free country. I thought it was a free country, so we'll see. Doesn't seem like a free country anymore. Okay, here we go. So that time it did something like the 3 to 4 shift was like okay, but that big jolt, for me at least, that's the torque converter locking up in 4th gear, and it always has done that. Either way, it definitely is a little bit weird. Something's going on a little weird, so I'm gonna try a cam reset here, and then I'll update you guys after a few 100 miles of driving to get that thing, you know, get normal driving tuned in a little bit better. So. We'll see you after a few 100 miles. So, it's been about a week, and what I did, well, RevMax got in touch with them, and they said you can't. And what we've talked about, a lot of the guys on here on YouTube, and we've had the conversations, is you can't, they don't want you to run any higher line pressure, I guess. So they want completely stock trans tuning, which is interesting. So what I did, I didn't actually follow their instructions, to be completely honest. What I did was go in and do a cam reset, and then I asked my tuner for stock transmission files. And I figured that would achieve the same thing, be the same thing as doing the instructions that RevMax gives. Because if they're wanting no trans tuning, if you just do a cam reset and then you take all the trans tuning out, then it should be stock. Should it not? I don't know. Maybe I don't really know as much about transmissions as I do other stuff, but so as you can see, that shift flares were still there. Now they did say that it takes 5 heat cycles or so to get those flares to go away with the stock trans tuning. And since it's been a week, I've probably had 7, if not like 15, because like I drive in the morning to work and then it sits there all day and then I drive home, so that's 2 heat cycles one day, so 14 I guess actually. Here, let's take another look. I'm gonna go under like a stock, like a really easy, like a quarter throttle. Little one there, and the 4.5 should be good. Yeah, so you could see there that nothing really was weird. Well, except for the 3.4 had a little bit of a flare in it. So I don't know, maybe I'm gonna maybe just give it one more week, because it did get way better. I wish I would have videoed some of the initial stuff for you guys of when I first did the cam reset and ran stock files, because dude, you're under like 1/8 of a throttle, you're hardly even moving anywhere, and that thing, like when it's going from 3 to 4, it's just almost redlined, and you're putting no load on it. So yeah, it's better than it was after the cam reset, but right now it's worse than it was with the aftermarket tuning. So I don't know. I think if it doesn't get any better, then I'm gonna have to go with I'm gonna have to go to and have Sean do that IDI software thing that RevMax wants you to do. Like, you load your tune in with the aftermarket trans files, I guess. Then you go in and like re-strategize the transmission or something like that. I don't remember. I read it 2 weeks ago when I first got that info, but I don't remember exactly what it said to do. It was something like that. But I'll keep you updated after this. Run it another week if it gets any better. If not, then I'll do that and I'll see if that fixes it. I really want to get this thing dialed in so we can go on the dyno, because that ought to be fun. But we'll see. So also, as a side note, I feel like it's gonna kind of suck to have the stock trans tuning, because the stock trans tuning is thinking everything's stock, obviously. So that means that the amount of exhaust gases needed to spool the 13 or 15 blade stock turbine that's a little bit more responsive, it's thinking that's the situation where it's not. I mean, I still have a Valley or a VGT in the Valley, so that helps, but I still, that 10 blade turbine, it flows a lot more, so it's not going to be as responsive. So I was hoping I could show you guys here, but like, okay, so I'm in 6th gear, cruising 50 mile an hour, and foot down, foot down, foot down. I need a gear. Look at the fucking soot. Like, I don't get a gear. I just need it to gear down to 5th so that I can pick up a little bit of speed. If I'm following some clowns and I want to execute a gap. We're going 50. It was a 55 and now it's 40, but I want to pass someone and I just have just a ton of soot back there. That's garbage. That sucks. I'm gonna have to just hit some bumps of nitrous to come on, that can't be the solution. So I don't know. So, I just last night I followed the steps that RevMax sends when you're having these kind of problems. I will put a Dropbox link in the description for the instructions. Super simple instructions. The only problem is you need IDS, so access to the IDS software. Now, if you're like me and you're just a backyard guy, you don't have that. So. Luckily, I just was able to ask Sean if I could come by quick and try and do this reprogramming thing, and was able to do it that way. Sorry if my camera work is bad on some bumpy ass road. So I will say, however, that I loaded the Shift on the Fly tune, because whenever you install a new tune, you have to do that IDS software stuff all over again. So I just figured do the Shift on the Fly so that I basically have access to all my tunes, and then don't have to do that IDS thing again. And I gotta say, there's only been one shift from 3 to 4 that was a little weird. Everything up until then thus far has been perfect. And I was completely wrong about the shifting, the stock shift patterns, and like how if you're at 50, when you are trying to go and it won't downshift, it downshifts very quickly. It's very quick to downshift, actually. From 6th to 5th and 5th to 4th, and probably even 4th to 3rd. But it just seems like I'm always going like 50, and then need to go up a bit steep hill or something, and then I need 4th quicker. So it looks like this shit has worked. Again, it's the first day. It's my first couple drives, so I will check it back in with you guys in a few days if something bad happens. Otherwise, I'll check back in like a week from now, and if it's still good, and at that time I'll probably get into it pretty heavy, and see how it does. Do like some 4-wheel drive launches or something, because I haven't done that yet at all. So really put it through the ringer at that time, and see how she holds up. I hope I didn't forget any other information I am wanting to share with you guys. If I think of anything, it'll probably be right after this. So here's something interesting. I just went down like a big hill with my cruise control set, and it downshifted, I think, to like slow me down, do a little engine braking. But now, like, we're on a flat. It's just stuck in 4th gear. It is, I think we got 2 days left until we've completed the 5-day, like cold learn, the reset type thing that RevMax wants you to do. And it's definitely like it's really good under normal driving circumstances, but as soon as you go near the throttle, it gets a little funky. I know they said that you'll need to do some like harder pulls to get it to learn, but like, what the fuck is going on right now? It took me, so this started, it did this, and then like I was like, that's weird, and it took me that amount of time, and it also took me the amount of time to grab my phone and start recording it, and it's still now doing it a minute later. So it's definitely not like going anywhere. Let's just hit cancel and see what the fuck happens. There we go. And then I'm gonna hit resume and see what it does. Just want this guy to pass. Resume. Yup. Just as we suspected. Now if you use the throttle to do it, then it'll give you fifth gear. Like I was saying, it actually turns out pretty good. So, I mean, now it's fine, but yeah, I don't know. Little weird. We'll keep her going and keep you updated. All right, so here's the next update. After going like, basically a full week of like really easy driving, just normal, this is what we've ended up back at. So as you can see, we are right back to where we were when we first started noticing problems. Like I said in probably the last clip or the one before, or whatever, it was going really good. Everything seemed fine, and then I got to the time where it's like, okay, there's 894 miles on this thing. After I changed did the IDS stuff, it's got to be good. So I went ahead and got into it, and as soon as I got into it, the very first time I got into it, it did that. And the other thing it did was super scary. I don't really know what happened actually, but it was in fifth gear. Like fourth to fifth shift was decent, but then like as you're in fifth, it seemed like something started slipping really hard, and then just redlined RPMs, and then just the biggest crash. I thought the trans fell out the truck is what it felt like, to be honest. I haven't been able to recreate that again. Well, that happened probably 3 times, I'd say. But then, it's been a couple days since I've got into the throttle, and it hasn't really done it since. To be honest, I don't really want it to happen because it is pretty scary. Like, just something seems so fucked. So, the next instruction I've been given is to drain the ATF, inspect it, take pictures of it, take the pan down, inspect that, take pictures of that, take pictures of the valve body, and send all that to RevMax. Problem is, it's my daily, so I have to pick a day. I got to do it like on a Sunday where I can do all that and then refill the son of a bitch. If anyone knows, I need to know a better way to fill up the transmission, because doing it from the dipstick is ass, it's so ass. So yeah, I'm just getting home now, so I won't be able to do the fifth gear thing, which kind of is good because I really don't want to do it. But yeah, so see right there, I mean, I don't know if you could probably hear it. It still is not. And at WOT, oh my god, at WOT it's 3, and then it pins that red line when it's trying to shift to fourth, and it's there for probably like 2 seconds, which isn't that long, but like when you're mad at it, it seems long. So, and then it finally goes to fourth and then into lockup and everything. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'll keep you updated. So as it stands right now, RevMax would like me to send my trans and converter back, but I don't want you guys to think that, you know, this is RevMax's fault. You know, they make really good stuff and they make really reliable stuff, but there's so many different components and moving pieces, and there's so many little things that could go wrong with a transmission of this nature. You know, it's just something that can happen sometimes. So don't go thinking that I'm shit talking RevMax or anything, because I'm not. They actually have been awesome to work with through this whole thing. You could have this problem with stock trans. You could have this problem with you know, Suncoast or whoever. You know, it's not that they're bad. It's just when you're going with this type of equipment and this fine-tuned of equipment, it's hard to. Sometimes it gets hard to get everything just right, and it takes a little bit of trial and error. So they've been awesome, and that's it.